Hey guys, this is going to be episode 1, and we're going to be talking about business and systems training. So we're going to jump into it right after this. That's episode 1.
Hey, what's going on, family? It's yours truly, Nick Woodard, checking in with you. Another amazing day. Hey, real quick, I want to just share my personal testimony on how Myecon, the personal financial success company, has helped change me and my family's life, right? So before Myecon, I was living not even paycheck to paycheck. I was living getting paid Friday to being broke on Monday, right? I had credit cards maxed out. I was in debt up to my neck and was clueless about money. So I was introduced to this opportunity by my personal mentor, Mr. Terrence Hill, the founder of the Financial Blueprint Academy, because we believe in giving people a financial peace of mind, right? And he shared this information with me, and based off the first strategy when it comes to cash flow management, I was able to legally adjust my W-4 form as well as my wife's, and we income shifted an extra $700 back into our household each and every month, right? And we took the new cash flow and put it towards our debt. And up to today's date, we have snowballed over $50,000 in debt at the government's expense, right? And on top of that, we have actually cash flowed just over $100,000 by applying these strategies. So I encourage each and every one of you to reach out to anyone you hear who is talking about personal financial success, representing Myecon, because we're all about changing lives and we want to welcome you to the financial journey. Have a blessed one. Peace.
All right, guys. So as you can see, that was a quick testimony by our own Nick Woodard. And what we're going to be doing, this is our first episode, and we're going to jump right into it. And we're going to make sure that you understand that we're going after those three components, right? Those three solutions that we're already looking for. And those are our cash flow solutions, okay? Cash flow management problems, cash flow, things like that. We're going to show you how to increase those, right? That's first and foremost. Then later, all right, or in the same stream, we're going to be talking about business income and then also investment income. So those are the three things that we're going to be looking for, because our goal is to be able to pursue our purpose, right? So that's what we want to do today. We want to make sure that we know the outline of how to pursue that purpose and to use those three solutions in our everyday life. All right. So let's jump into that right now. And matter of fact, I'm going to make this large, get on out the way. Okay. As you see here, setting goals and formulating plans gives you a path to follow and mentally prepares you to attain those goals. Okay. So we're talking about what? Making sure that we're writing down what we need to, our goals, and making sure that we keep those in front of us. Okay. Then we don't confuse goals for hopes or wishes. Goals should be written down and be used as a daily reminder of what you are striving to achieve. Okay. Furthermore, hustling backwards is when you spend most of your time on someone else's job, but still can make ends meet. Okay. So I'm not putting down the job itself. What we have to do is get other options so that we can increase our cash flow so that the job won't be the only thing that we're dependent upon. Okay. And if you want to transition out of that job, definitely, we can definitely, show you that transition as well. Okay. So what we do, no matter where we are, okay, when you are starting, and also when you are helping your others to start, your enrollees to start, okay, this is how we have effortless enrollment. And this is also how we have duplication so that we can build our businesses and increase our cash flow on a monthly basis, okay? So this is what we want to do. We want to make sure that we start right here. This is our basis. This is our foundation, okay? So you want to go and you're going to go into your cash flow manager. You're going to go into where? Your My Econ back office. Okay, so whatever you name that, that's what you'll do. Matter of fact, if you want to, you can pause this now and then do a search in your email for Myecon, and then that should give you your entry, your information to get into your office. And if you have not done that as well, when you find that, make sure you call someone, the person that helped you to enroll, or you can reach out to me as well. Okay, you can reach out to me at 805 387 3639. All right. So pause and go ahead and check that out if you have not done so. And then that way you can know exactly how this is and where you're going. Okay. And then we'll meet you back. All right, good stuff. So if you already have what you need, then you can take off as well. You didn't have to pause it. So you're just going to pull up your MyEcon back office. Like mine is duranhomes.myecon.net. So you called it something, okay? So you find out what that is, and then you just simply follow the steps here, right? If you want to pause this and then follow the steps listed, that is fine, and you can do that as well, okay? All right, so now what we're doing is we're downloading the cash flow manager, my econ mobile app to your phone, right? And also you're going to be going to the BMC home, new mobile apps, my econ mobile app, cash flow manager app. Okay, you're going to put all of these things in place. This is how you're going to get your foundation all together. Okay, and okay, so when you will see a prompt, and it is for your people that you're talking to, right? You don't have to pay for the app. You will always have that app that come with it, okay? So you may see a prompt saying, "Hey, this costs this." But that's not for you, okay? So you know that you do not have to pay for the app, right? So now you want to set up your direct deposit as well. Make sure all those things in place. Just follow the directions that are on the site. Complete your W-9. Complete, and it tells you exactly how to do. The arrows tell you exactly what to do. Your BMC home to new mobile apps, and then MyEcon mobile app, cash flow manager app. Okay, just like here, complete your W-9, click BMC home, then my account, and then the form W-9. Okay, and then make sure you adjust your W-4. Right. So what you want to do with that, make sure you will see the training on purposepursuer.com, which we'll get to in a couple of seconds, so that you can see how to adjust the W-4 properly. But you can also see that in your MyEcon back office as well. Okay, and then also within these 14 days, right, you want to have done a completed cash flow strategist. Okay, and you just simply log into MyEcon, click tools, right, and it teaches you your cash flow strategist, shows you everything that you're going to need to complete. It's going to give you your blueprint, your game plan. This is something that you should be very excited about, because this is something that you can follow and you don't have to worry about guessing anymore on what to do. Okay, and see, when you're going through this process, there's two things. There's two individual types, right? And the first type of it is the individual says, "Hey, let me work on myself. Let me get all these things in place first, okay? Because I need to do X, Y, and Z. I feel more comfortable that way, right?" And then there are others that are on the other side that say, "Hey, not only do I need to add income, but I think I need to multiply income. I need to geometrically grow income, exponentially grow income. No, however I can grow that income." Okay, so for you, there are bonuses. There is a compensation for commissions and things like that. Okay, and see what that does is when you're building your assets. Okay, and also if you're an individual that says, "Hey, I'm just working on myself," you still can watch and understand where we're going from here. Okay, and then because later people are going to come to you because your life is going to start changing. Your cash flow is going to start to increase. Your financial knowledge is going to start to show. So then people are going to say, "Hey, what are you doing? What's going on with you now?" Right? And what you can do is simply point the way by using the system that I'm getting ready to show right now. Okay, and what this does is, remember, our three solutions are cash flow management, and then business income, and then investment income, right? Because the whole goal is to have enough assets that are making enough cash flow so that it pays for our expenses, so that we can have all of our time for our friends, family, associates, or whatever that thing is that you have as a purpose. Okay, so why do we build our asset? Because one day you will have to make a living without working and be okay with it. Okay. No matter if you're 18 years old now or if you're 81, right? It's still time. And it's still time to do the same things, which is cash flow management, business income, and investment income. Okay. So now we're going to focus on where will this income come from. Okay. Let's see if we can enlarge this a little bit. Maybe that'll help out. Okay. So now what we're looking at is asset valuation. So think about it like this. A lot of people say, hey, Mike, I lost a little bit in the last couple years or so with the epidemic and this, that, and the other. Some people say, Mike, I lost a lot, right? And so the thing is, I say, hey, let's understand what residual income, the power of residual income. And I'm just going to use one example. Okay. Let's look at $1,000 a month in residual income. Okay. Residual income means something that you work one time for it and then it comes consistently over and over again without you having to work anymore for it. Okay. So if you get to the point and you understand the wisdom behind what we're saying, and you work with the system and you now have $1,000 a month of residual income every month, residual income, right? That's equivalent to having $240,000 invested and it's giving you 5% a year. Listen to me. That's like saying you have $240,000 invested over here in this account somewhere, and this account is making 5% a year. That's $1,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? So what I mean is this: create for yourself assets, right? Then you can understand that you do not have to necessarily have the cash, right, over here in a lump sum. So essentially, if you say, hey, let's understand whatever the purpose is that we're doing with the investment. Let's say we're looking at real estate. You build up enough real estate assets, right? And the real estate assets is producing $1,000 a month. That's equivalent to you having 240 grand and it's making 5%. Not just having 240 grand stuffed into a mattress, but 240 grand making 5%. Okay. So let's move on from there. So look at this, pause, and see what it is that you're really trying to do in life. Okay. And really is what they've told you and what it's now time to learn. All right. So, first and foremost, our education, right, is at the real university. That's where the education is, okay? And that's purposepursuer.com. And when you get there, you're just going to click store, right? And that's going to register. You just find one of the courses there. If first one you want to register for is the Myecon and Team Purpose Pursuer. So if you're taking notes, that's purposepursuer.com/store, right? You can also pause this and go back and see what I said, purposepursuer.com/store. And then you're going to register for what? The Myecon and Team Purpose Pursuer. Okay. And you can see that right here in front of you, right? Myecon and Team Purpose Pursuer. This is your membership site for Purpose Pursuer training, financial education, and real estate investing, right? And so we go there. And then when you go there, you're going to see your introduction, and that's going to have our mentor, the $800,000 cash flow man, CEO Infinity, our own Terrence Hill, right? And so that is going to be an awesome presentation. It's going to show you, okay, what do you do when you're new, right? What do I do now, and what do I do next? Okay, go there and then follow the instructions. Okay, then the next is going to show you how to work your cash flow strategist. Okay, and that's going to be done by our own co-CEO, Alvin Curry, right? So it got it packed in the back, right? It's all good, right? So then the next, the VP of Marketing, June Collier, is going to explain the cash flow manager, right? Then we're going to have a breakdown again by our own Alvin Curry with the Myecon website, and then also about the 1 million millionaires by 2030, the vision and the mission. Guys, it is amazing. You got to get in there and let that become a product of the system. Okay. Let it work for you. Leverage your time. Okay. So that's what we want to start doing is leveraging our time. Okay. All right. And so what we're doing right now, as you can tell, is our systems training. Okay. And so we're going to be releasing new trainings Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay. And that's going to be in our Purpose Pursuer Facebook team page. Okay. It's also going to be in the Real Estate and Business Credit Made Easy page. All right. So if you missed that, just pause, rewind. Right. Okay. But I'll say it one more time. So what we're doing is we're going to be doing these Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we're going to be new. It's going to be new ones released every day. Excuse me, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30. Okay, and then also the systems training is going to be posted into the Purpose Pursuer Facebook private page. All right. So let's rock and roll. So the first thing we want to do is we're trying to do what? We're have increased our cash flow, right? We're working with the different pieces. We're understanding how to do our home-based business deductions with our cash flow manager, right? We've got our cash flow strategy. So we have our GPS. We know exactly what we're doing. We have our financial freedom dates, right? So everything is rocking and rolling, ready to go, right? So remember, we wanted to do what? Add to the income. And we want to do what? Leverage. We also want to multiply the income. And then we want to uh, uh, well, exponentially grow the income. Okay, so it's different things that we want to start working on. So it's different phases. Okay, so now when we start, our first goal is to help you to get to EVP Platinum as soon as possible. Okay, how we do this? We work with the 5 steps of enrollment using the 50, 15, and 5 method, right? This is something that we have received from a mentor, Mr. Brian Bean, and he's done more than 60,000 people enrolled in his organization at any time, right? So what we got to do is understand, follow the system that's already working, okay? So now first steps as we get to EVP Platinum, we're going to help you to do what? Get to EVP Gold. That's our first step by helping you to help sponsor two individuals. Okay. Remember, it's nothing that you're doing. You're going to leverage the system and the help of the person on your team or the persons on your team. Okay. So then after EVP Gold, is EVP Platinum, and that's 12 team associates, which means that you do not have to bring in all 12. Okay, so we're going to show you how to get yourself in position to get your first two as we go through your first EVP Gold. We get that done in the first couple of weeks. Okay, then EVP Platinum, we're going to get that done for you in the first 90 days. Okay, so let's go and let's rock and roll, right? And so also make sure that you subscribe to the corporate page, the corporate Myecon Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com. As you can see here, Myecon, right? You can find that. Go ahead and get yourself in. If you don't have Facebook, you know how people say I don't do Facebook because it gets me in trouble, this, that, and the other. Time to grow up, right? Go ahead and get yourself re-inside. Go get yourself re-signed up with your Facebook because we're going to use it for business. Okay, right? So it's all about the seeds that we plant, right? Whatever we do, that's what the results that we'll receive. Okay, so we don't do nothing but business, then we'll get the business results. All right, and we'll show you how to set up everything. Okay, and you also have, if you're watching this, you have at least the first 30 days of the automation marketing system, our own AMS, which helps you to do your business. It is amazing. We won't go dive into too much detail there. So get in there and find out how that works your first 30 days and go ahead and let's go and rock out with that. But if you came in and you're on the 57 or $58 a month plan, depending on when you're listening to this, then you already have your automation marketing system. All right. So you're going to get a lot more assistance in the things, not from us. We're going to give you, of course, all the assistance, but the assistance automation is what I mean. Okay. So now what we're going to do is you're going to make sure that you understand and you're going to come back. We're going to break this down a little later. Okay. This particular training about bases loaded. But what I want you to understand by looking at this is just to think about it this way. Okay. You're working with the team because you're starting at home plate, okay? But there are teammates that are going to help you to go around the bases, okay? So just think about it this way. Your goal is to do what? If you're not familiar with baseball, then the goal is to do what? Get a base hit at least, okay? And so once you get a base hit, then it's up to the other teammates to do what? Move you around the bases by helping you out, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to use this system so to take all the pressure off of what you're thinking you got to do. It's not up to you to talk to the individuals or to convince them of one way or the other. It's not up to you to sell anything, okay? It's only up to you to follow this system that we're getting ready to show you right now, all right? So let's go, right? So first thing we're doing, prospecting, peak and pass, right? And as I go through these things, they're going to be labeled on the diamond on the baseball field. Okay. So the first thing you're doing is you're prospecting, that you're at home plate. Okay. And you can go back and revisit and you can print that out and see the baseball diamond and follow that if you like, however you want to do this. But you got to understand what you're doing now. You're saying, hey, Mike, my goal is to create an extra $2,000 a month. My goal is to extra $20,000 a month. No matter what that is, understand what your sewing is going to require because of that. Okay, you want to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month? Hey, no problem. You're just going to adjust your W-4 and start using your home-based business write-offs. Okay, but if you want to make $1,000 to $2,000 a month, okay, then it comes down to actually telling people about what we have, not selling them, not convincing them, but just using the system to tell them what we have. Okay. But then if you want to do what, $2,500 or greater, then it's up to you to not only tell people what we have, but then it's also your job to teach people how to tell people what we have. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? Right. So the more money is made by the teachers. Right. Let's rock and roll. So prospecting and peak and pass. Okay. Your first steps here, and we won't go into this real deep at all because we're going to have a presentation to help you to understand each individual portion. Okay. And then we're going to show you first and foremost the text messages that you're going to use so that you don't have to speak at all. Isn't that wonderful? Right. I'm going to teach you a couple of things right now, but in a couple of minutes, I'm going to show you the text script that you're going to be using. So you don't even have to speak to anyone other than myself as we're training you. Okay. So let's jump into it. The first of the 5 steps that we work with. Okay. And I'm going to label the 5 steps right quick. They're prospecting. That's one, prospecting. And then two is peak and pass. Okay. That's all together, the same step, peak and pass. And then three is the presentation or present. Okay. Three is present or presentation. Okay. And then four is plug. Okay. The fourth one is plug. We're going to plug them into the system. The same thing that we started with, how we're doing things, we're going to plug them into that same thing. Just like if you bought a McDonald's franchise, you will what? Plug them into McDonald's University or Hamburger University, and then plug them into a system that's already working. That's what we're doing right now. Okay. So never think you have to reinvent the wheel. It's already set up for you. Okay. So let's rock and roll. So number 5 is promote. We're going to promote the things that's going to help them to get started. And what we're going to promote? The system, right? We're going to promote the system. Have you done the pieces of the system? Have you listened to the orientation? Have you listened to the what to do when you're new? Have you adjusted your W-4? Okay, so we're going to promote the system, right? So now let's look at it. Prospecting, just simply listening, right? You're just listening. You're just listening. You're not challenging. You're not trying to change anybody's mind. You're listening for a problem. If you don't hear the problem, then no need to say anything about what you have to offer, right? And then once you find out what the problem is, you're going to pique them with a simple question. Have you ever heard of income shifting? Right? Then you're going to follow up phrase because they're going to say no. You're going to say, hey, you're going to pick up one of those follow up phrases. Well, they help people to minimize taxes. They help people to find cash flow success. They help people to who want to create investment income. They will help people who want better credit. Okay. So now you can use a follow up phrase. You can also, if you're super nervous, just say, hey, I am not sure. Just getting going. I know it's going to help me. But what you got to do is watch this awesome video, www.incomeshifting.com. Or if you have your AMS system, you can just plug their email or you can plug their cell phone into your AMS system and it does the rest of it for you. Amazing. It's amazing. It'll help you out so much. Okay. Remember, you're creating leverage by using tools so that you can eventually achieve your current and future lifestyle or objectives. Okay. And see, that leverage is going to help you create assets, which is going to help what? Pay the expenses of your lifestyles. Right. So now let's move on. Right. So now we have peaked and passed. We piqued their interest with a question, and then we passed them on to something that was third party, not us speaking, not us talking. but we pass them on to incomeshifting.com. We pass them on to purposepursuer.com. We pass them on to the AMS system, right? Then we keep on moving. Our job is never to convince, but only to sort. We're looking for those that are looking for us. But if we don't let the masses know what we have, then there is nothing left for anybody to say, hey, to grab onto. Okay. They got to know what you got, what you're saying. And how we do that is by using this system to show them what we're doing. Okay. The first thing that you got to understand, well, with using the system is edifying. That's the biggest thing. That's how you're going to move people across the board. Okay. By edification. What do I mean by edification? That's like the AMS system. That's like the incomeshifting.com. That's like the purposepursuer.com. It's not just, well, I'm going to, watch that site. It's not just, well, I'm gonna, drop your email in here, and what we're gonna do is give you something, a couple emails here or there. No, it's like, hey, what this is changing people's lives. I've already seen 5 or 6 stories of individuals, or 1 or 2 stories, whatever you got to say, whatever you've seen so far, right? I've already seen 1 to 2 stories of individuals that are out of debt, that are having better credit, and I can already see my way of doing the same. So you got to watch this incomeshifting.com, and guess what? I'm gonna also have the person that's helping me, Mr. Holmes, or Miss Darton, or or whatever the person that you're working with, right? Mr. Jenkins, whoever that may be. Okay, they're going to be on the line because they're helping me as well, and so I'll help them with me when I call you back, because I know you're going to have questions, and then you're going to bring them right back into what the problem that they had. Okay, then you go from there. Okay, so now, as we go through this process, you've edified, you're making it larger, all right? And then you also, the person that you're going to refer to, that's going to be answering the question. Hey, Mr. Holmes, and you can see how we edify right here. You don't have to know anything about the individual. Remember, we're using a system. You say, Mr. Holmes knows 100% of the facts. Miss Smith knows, is in a position to make tons of money, has helped tons of people succeed, has been trained by the best of the best. You can choose one of these, two of these, or all four of these. Depends on how excited and motivated, that you're trying to convey, the motivation that you're trying to convey, right? So now you can actually move on. Now the presenting is done by that thing that you just passed on to. Income shifting or whatever that was, it's done by using that. Okay. It does the presenting for you, not you, but the person that you're working with, or the website that you push them to. That does the presenting. Okay, that's number 3. And then plug. Okay, once we know they watched the system, they watched the whatever that particular part of the system that they just watched or heard, right? Then we're going to plug them. Yes, no, maybe so. It doesn't matter. What we are is working. We're just working, right? So if you're at your job and somebody says, something contrary to you getting paid, from your paycheck, then it doesn't matter what they say, right? Because you're still going to get paid at the end of the day. You're doing your job. You're doing what you're supposed to do. And see, if you do what you're supposed to do here, you're going to get paid. You just have to keep on going through the system, right? So if it's yes, no, maybe so, your job is just to be a collection, a decision collector. Okay, that's the only thing that you're doing. So if it's a yes, you plug them into the training, you plug them into the system. Same thing, how you got started, you plug them into going, right? If it's a no, that may be just a not now. So you plug them into a month later call, or 9 month, excuse me, a 90-day later call, a 2 week later call. It just depends. So you plug them in, right? So it just depends. That's all we're doing. We don't put any emotions connected to it whatsoever. Okay. Then once we plug, then we promote, right? If it's a yes, then that person's in the system. We plug them into the system, and then we're going to promote the things they should be doing in the system. Have you adjusted your W-4? Have you completed your cash flow strategies? Are you keeping up with your records? Are you starting to invest, right? Are you documenting your prospects on your 50, 15, and 5 form? Okay, so you're promoting those. If it was a no, you're going to promote the things that you're learning to those individuals. Okay, right? So you just say, hey, great, that's understandable. Everything is not for everyone, and I do understand that. Well, do you mind if I keep you informed of all the new things that I'm learning about finances? And they say, yeah, of course. So now you're, every so often, once a month or so, hey, I just learned X amount. Or you make a post on Facebook or something, and you say, hey, I learned about the 35% rule about credit. You got to keep your credit below 35%, or you're going to lose a lot of points, right? Simple post. You collect, what is that? Tag that person, to that post. You see what I'm saying? So you're just keeping them informed, not every day, not all the time, once a month, but you got your schedule so that you'll know what you're doing, okay? Who is where, right? And now you just keep on moving, all right? And then what we're going to do, I'm going to get to how to get all this started. Okay. So that was just a jump in. That was just an overall say, hey, I've heard about the training and everything like that to see where everything is. Right. So, but we're having specific trainings on each one of these steps as well. But this is the part to where what you need to do is to take great notes here so that you can write these down so that you can know how to get started, how to get your jump going. Okay. This is how people have created wealth through the momentum, right, of creating assets by using a system, right? So what you want to do is you want to set up a strategy session date and time, right? In the next 24 hours, think about that date. What is that date that you want to set, right? Make sure it's, give yourself another 5 to 7 days from here, okay, to set the actual date, but make the decision in the next 24 hours what date that will be, okay? And then your thing is you got to understand the next step, because your income is then a direct reflection of the activity that you're going to do, right? You're going to call 10, you're going to text 10, right? Then you direct message 10, okay? Then the 10 that you're calling, those individuals that are, your family, your cousins, those that are right around you right away, those that you have some influence upon, okay? Then you're going to text the 10 and then direct message 10, okay? So you're going to get your business jumping off right quick. Okay. And then here, when you call them, you're still saying the same thing. When you text them, you're still saying the same thing. When you direct message, you're still saying the same thing. Okay. So let's imagine if I just called you, hey, wrinkle, 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 right? What I'm saying is ring, ring, ring. But hey, so they pick up and you just, quick thing. Hey, this is the reason why I'm calling. I know you're busy, but I'm just throwing this out there. Are you open to a side project that will not interfere with what you have currently going on? Right? Read it over a couple of times, read it over 2 or 3 times so that it's fresh, it's in your stomach, right? And you just go ahead, hey, I'm just throwing this out there. But you open to a side project, and you can even say, make sure that it's, hey, man, I got the hookup. I got a little something I need to share with you. Who's around? Get somewhere it's kind of quiet, right? And then tell them. They say, okay, what is it? What is it? Well, I'm just throwing this out there. But if you open to a side project that will not interfere with what you got going on, right? And you can bring it down to a different vernacular, different style of talk, right? It doesn't matter. Your thing is you want to stay around the different kind of area, right? So if you're meeting somebody and you already know them, and they say, hey, that type of language I wouldn't say, but say something, hey, I'm just throwing this out there. I found something. It. I think it's going to work for us, right? Are you open to something new? If do you have some more time? Whatever that kind of thing is, however you talk to that individual, your thing is just saying, hey, I'm throwing something out there, right? Are you open to a side project or something new, right? That won't interfere with what you already got going on. Okay. Right. And then your right next one is either the text or direct message or the conversation, right? I just got started and I've already learned how to. Remember how we were saying I learned the 35% rule in credit? I've already learned how to reduce my taxes. I've already learned how to increase my cash flow and get my credit better. I've already learned how to start investing in real estate. I've already learned how to, right? Just a quick statement. I've already learned how to, boom, 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 boom. And then the very next thing, my mentor will be explaining these strategies on, and then give them your strategy session date and time. Okay, move. That's all you're doing. You're just moving through. Okay. And then once they actually give them the date and time, now you what? You edify, right? And they say, okay, you told them it's Tuesday at 7 o'clock, right? So now your thing is this. I tell you what, my mentor, the guy that I'm working with, or the woman that I'm working with, they always want to meet individuals that I hold in high esteem, right? And you got a couple of seconds, you right? Because I told them to hold on. I was going to give you a call to see if he was around, but they're, holding on. So let me get Mr. Holmes on the line. And Mr. Holmes knows 100% of the facts, loves helping people, and is in position to make tons of money. right? So I just repeated what you just saw me say earlier, those same phrases of edification, right? So now I just simply click over and I call Mr. Holmes, or Mr. Holmes already with me. Just depends, how you have that particular conversation with Mr. Holmes or the person that's helping you with that. And then I will jump in, or the person that's helping you will jump in and say, "Hey, how you doing? I see they say that you a person that can recognize the opportunity when you see one." And say, "Yeah, most definitely. I can tell that Tiffany holds you in high regard, right? Because she has you, on the phone with me. She knows I'm a pretty busy person, but that I don't have a problem with that because I love helping people anyway, especially somebody that is helpful as Tiffany is, right? So what we're going to be doing is holding something, especially for Tiffany's friends and some of her family friends, because everybody's not for everything, right? So we're going to be talking about real estate, and we're going to be talking about your purpose and how to start doing the things that you really want to do in life, no matter what that is. Okay. So I love to see you at that particular time, right? And I'll talk to you then. Nice meeting you. Later. Done. Right? So now we're closing them on that date. Now they're going to be confirmed to show up to your virtual strategy session. Now it's a wrap. Okay. And then you're going to print these out or either send them this particular sheet. Right? And this is the 243 strategy that we'll be going over. Remember, cash flow management, business income, and investment income. See, everything is wrapped all together. Okay. So that in itself is how this system works. Okay, so we bring that all together so you can see exactly where everything is. And this is episode 1, right? The rest of the episodes will be around a 15 to 20 minutes in length or so, because this one here is to show you where everything was and give you an outline of what you should be doing and where you can go to find the different things that you'll be needing. Okay, so after that, guys, we'll wrap up and we'll go from there. And once again, it's Michael Holmes, a proud founder of Real University. And as always, we have joined in with Myecon, the personal financial success company, so that we can help build homes, make homes to help people across the nation. All right. Talk to you soon. Be good. Peace.